candidate, regional chairman, and a constituency chairman for Zebilla. I have him on the line for more on this. Good morning, Doc. Thanks for joining us. Hello, good morning, Dr. Krugu.
Hello, good morning.
This is Bernard. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm doing well.
It must have taken a lot for you to write this statement and to suspend your campaign. Is your suspension a protest, or is it based on the security considerations of campaigning in Bawku West?
Oh, I think it is. It is based on the security consideration. I'm a public health expert, so when life and property are at stake, I don't believe there's anything else more important. And some of us are seeking for the opportunity to represent people. And so when people are dying, when people lives are being lost, there is nothing left to hold on to. And that is the reason why I've suspended my campaign and all other political activities to save life and property.
What is your briefing on the current security situation in Bawku itself and the neighboring communities in the KTA area?
I think in the last 2 days, the situation has been very, very sad, to say the least. I can tell you that the situation is more or less in a full-fledged war situation. And so both sides of the factions are not reporting the reality, because in a war situation, you do not want your opponent to know how much manpower you are losing. And so whatever you would have heard in terms of casualties, in terms of people killed and all of that, I can tell you it's just a tip of the iceberg. I'm aware that in the last 2 nights, people haven't slept. It's been a full-fledged war ongoing. Now you have a situation where you literally have 2 factions chiefs living next to each other. You know, Bawku is not a big town. And each side is aiming at getting to the other person, you know. So you have what in the words of the government, an illegitimate and chief who's sitting there now, and then you have the existing chief who's celebrating 40 years on the throne, and he's also there. Then you have many young lives being perished. Last night, when we got the message that the Presby Hospital, there were no place to put injured people, and roads were blocked. You cannot carry injured people to Borga for treatment. The roads between Borga and Tamale were blocked, and people were being searched for their Ghana card to identify their travel affiliation and to kill them. And I'm aware that even some people who are not belonging to the 2 tribes were killed. They were mistakenly killed. But that is completely not Ghana that I know. It's completely unacceptable. And so it's a very sad development we have. Very, very sad.
What do you reckon to be the missing link between government's stated position in their February press statement, which was very clear, and the defense of the Attorney General? Because it appears as though it was the decision to lift the arrest warrant that allowed Alhaji to enter the town, which you can say is the trigger to the latest round of fighting. So what's going on? The government statement has not changed, right? And yet it seems as if the defense of that particular legal status, once the court has varied it, it frees the man to go to the town, and that's what led to this. So what's going on in your view?
Those are the biggest questions on the table. And, it is not only the listing of the question of the arrest warrant, but if you are very familiar, Bawku is heavily guarded. There is a military, I don't know what to call it, there's a military post in Bawku, in Binduri, the whole military post there. Okay, and you have police, you have all. So Bawku is a heavily security tight place. So granted that the arrest warrant was quashed, there is even a bigger question. How did the purported chief got into Bawku and to engage in the whole ceremony? If I show you videos of when they got there, they did not get there in a quiet, went in and stayed somewhere quietly. There has been a whole investiture, to kind of complete the whole process of him becoming a Bokunaba. That also happened in Bawku, and under the watch of security. So there are bigger questions to that. And that kind of laxity to the whole situation has led to the scores of lives being lost. The pictures I have on my phone, the images I have, what is going on there? There are more questions than answers, and I don't have the answers. Why on earth would Attorney General say that, look, the question of the arrest warrant is wrong, so I'm going to court to make sure that the arrest warrant is restated? And the application to do that stated on the grounds of the appeal. In the grounds of the appeal, you would see that the judge aired a number of statements that shows why the judge aired in question the arrest warrant. Then the following day, the same Attorney General goes back to court to say the state is no longer interested in pursuing this matter. Then in the evening, a purported illegal chief, according to the words of the government, has been brought to Bawku. Then we have a full-scale war in our hands. I don't have the answer. I have been asking these questions in the last 2 days. Where I sit in my hideout, I don't have a single answer.
To what extent do you think this could affect elections, and which places would be affected? Because today we heard that there was even some issue on the Bolga Tamale road, right? We are told that there were travelers on that road, gunmen blocked the Bolga Tamale highway near a place called Grimsi, and people were being attacked. My question is, if this does not de-escalate and if peace doesn't return, how many constituencies would you think how big is the area of under threat here? Is it just Bawku, or could this be a bigger area, landmass?
No, it's big. It's a whole traditional area. So it covers 6 constituencies altogether. You have Puziga, you have Tempane, you have Garu, you have Bawku Central, you have Binduri, and you have Zebilla. All these 6 constituencies is under the same traditional area. And so, worst case scenario, this area is going to be affected, And you see, the reason why I suspended my campaign completely, there's a reason to it, because this Bawku crisis is nothing new. But almost every election year, Bawku crisis take a center stage in the electioneering campaign. So I am contesting on the ticket of the ruling party. And then I have opponents who are contesting the independent or on NDC and all of that. they go out there, and as you know, that our presidential candidate, you know, is from one of the tribes of the faction, the conflict. And so my opponent would say that vote against him because he is part of the conflict. What would be my message as a candidate of the ruling party? I said, no, do not hang this on his neck, because this conflict even predates his birth. Conflict was there before His Excellency the Vice President was born. So don't put this on his neck. Let us find a solution to the conflict, and do not let us politicize it that way, because in that way it will escalate after the election. That has been the center of my, argument against people who want to capitalize on the conflict for political gain. Now, if this is my position, and this whole thing has flared up on my face, what should I go and tell the people? And as we speak now, no statement from my party, no statement from my government. The February 20, the statement that was signed by the Honorable Kojo Oponkruma. Today, we don't have a statement coming from the current Minister for Information. And people are dying. Every minute, people are dying. What's going on? What should I go and tell people?
Well, this is not. Can a bipartisan approach solve this while we wait for government? Because clearly, the government has to issue a statement to tell us where they stand on this. But seeing as you, as a candidate, as a your campaign, and seeing as an election is close by and everybody's thinking about elections, could the candidates come together to send a message to the people to stop the fighting? Especially because, of course, candidates are from different sides. It will be seen as a show of solidarity and a show of unity if you and other candidates from other sides issue a joint statement. Is that something you are considering?
Not only considering, it's something I've been calling for in the last 2 days. And I've been asking questions, and I have thrown this question even to all certain members of parliament. In the 6 constituencies, we have members of parliament. I'm asking the question, why are they keeping quiet? Not only candidates, but there are sitting members of parliament. Why are they keeping quiet? You see, anybody who thinks that, well, I don't want to open my mouth because I may lose votes. My message to all of them is that there may not be elections in the whole of those 6 constituencies for you to win your election. And in any case, if you win, you want to represent human beings. They are dying. So I have called for this. And if you read my statement, I copied them. I've personally sent it to the likes of Muhammad Yaraga, to the candidate I'm contesting against. I've contested with them. The 5 other NPP candidates. Why is people keeping quiet? I don't understand. And they say if you talk, they will kill you. Then the people they are killing, they are also human beings.
Well, thank you.
So for me, there's no meaning to what is going on.
Finally, how long your campaign remains suspended, and what condition, under what condition will you continue campaigning?
If government comes out to clearly state what's going on, because I need to go and tell people something, but I don't have anything in my hand. So I'm waiting for the government to come out clearly. And for the traditional leader, everybody needs to speak so that we all know what to do. As it is now, I don't know what to go and tell people.
Thank you for talking to us, Doc. We wish you well. That's Dr. John Kingsley Krugu, who's the parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party for Zebilla. It used to be called Bawku West. And he was speaking to a statement he issued, sent to the presidential candidate of the NPP, the general secretary and the regional chairman, suspending his